I'm going to talk about a Novation deal in the state of Delaware that made $42,000 in profit, and I'm going to tell you exactly how we made this deal work as a Novation. So if you're looking to learn how to do this business at a high level, welcome to my channel and my podcast. My name is Greg Helbeck. Thank you for watching on YouTube or listening on the audio platforms. If you are not familiar with me, I've been a full-time investor now for a decade. I've done well over 300 properties, probably at this point almost 350. And the point of these videos and podcasts is to share with you what I've learned over the years so you could benefit from it and make more money, right? So you can have more freedom in your life. That's what we all do this business for. By the way, if you get value from this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with someone else. That would really be appreciated. And today we're going to get right into this. So novations, what is a novation? It's basically a wholesale deal on the MLS. That's like the best way I can explain it. The way that we realized this property was going to be a novation instead of a flip is the seller is asking a pretty high price, but they didn't want market value, and the home was well over the median in the state. So we were like, okay, we could buy this and take a big risk, and if it doesn't sell, we'll lose money, or we can offer the seller maybe a little bit more money than we can pay cash, but we can do it from a novation standpoint, and it could be a win-win where the seller can net the number they want and we can make some money. So Brett was absolutely relentless with the follow-up on this one. He was in touch with this seller for years and years, and finally the seller was like ready to go, signed a piece of paper, just a basic purchase contract. I think we signed it for $520 maybe. I'd have to go back and look, something like that. Ended up making 42 grand on it, but we ended up signing the contract. And we told the seller what we're doing, which is the key here on this deal, is we told the seller what we're doing. Hey, we are giving you more money than we were willing to offer you cash. We are going to be putting it on the market. We're going to be paying for the commissions out of our own pocket. We're going to have to pay for any work that's needed in order to get it financeable. So we were able to lead with value and actually put some skin in the game. So we ended up telling the seller they were cool with it, signed everything, no resistance. End up getting it listed on the market with a realtor. Took a while to sell. We had to do a price cut. Finally got a buyer who was serious about it. It took about a month to do that, and we went into contract with the buyer. So here's how we did this novation. We signed an original purchase agreement with the owner that says we're buying the house and we're able to novate it. Put it on the market, found the third-party buyer, and then we signed a novation agreement, which is a second document with the seller that says we are novating our contract right now. Seller signed that, we signed that. Then the seller signed a contract to go directly with the buyer. And then the way that we're getting paid is basically we're getting paid out of the seller's proceeds as a novation fee, right? Getting paid to basically cancel our contract. So that's how it worked from a paperwork standpoint. But the value we added to this situation is, number one, we had to spend about $5 grand to get this house up to snuff because it had a nasty smell to it. It needed some clean out, some handyman work. The septic tank failed, so we had to fix the septic and remove some trees. So we had about $5 grand out of pocket on this thing. It was a little bit of a pain in the ass, but it's something the seller didn't want to deal with, and obviously they were open to having us help them. And ended up getting the deal closed yesterday, and made 42,000 bananas, which is awesome. So you can't go broke making a profit. And what are some lessons that you can learn to benefit you in your business? Well, number one, you need to have multiple ways to make money on these deals, right? Not every house is going to be a wholesale price. Not every seller is going to drop their drawers and sell for cash. So some people are motivated, but they're not motivated to take a 50 cents on the dollar offer. So if you have multiple ways you can help a seller, whether you're buying it novation or buying it for market value, owner finance, like you got to have multiple exit strategies nowadays because it's just too competitive now to only have one. So if you're just a wholesaler, you're trending in the wrong direction. Lesson number 2 here is if you're going to do a novation, you need to understand the value you're bringing to the owner is all the crap that they don't want to deal with. You need to offer the seller a hands-off experience because that's how you justify making money on these deals. If you have the seller do everything, they might as well just list it. So if you're going to novate, you got to lead with value. You got to understand how to get deals done or else the seller's not going to go with it. And then the third lesson on this deal is that at the end of the day, you need to understand risk versus reward. On this property, it did not make sense to buy for cash. Even if we got a little bit lower, it still wouldn't have made sense. It was above the median home in this location in Delaware. And it was a situation where if the deal didn't work out, we would have lost a lot of money. So we knew that it would make more sense from a risk versus reward standpoint to do a novation. And, we were able to identify that when the seller was ready to sell, and we were able to make it a win-win situation. So you don't want to put yourself in really risky deals. And ultimately, if you're doing innovation, you're taking less risk because you're not owning the property. So you got to understand the risk and reward portion. And listen, these novations are great. As long as you do them right, you do them ethically, and you're transparent, and the seller knows what you're doing, it's a very beneficial situation for the owner and for you. So hopefully you got value from this. If you did, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're in Delaware, if you're in New York, if you're in Seattle, those are the 3 areas we buy houses in. Send me an email if you have a deal. I'm looking to buy more properties just like this one. Greg@velocityhousebuyers.com or Instagram DM @Grego37. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.